What is up, YouTube and subscribers and followers and everything else? So, I wanted to make this video about 2 months ago, and I didn't because you call me a little bit selfish. I'll stand up because the lighting's all messed up. You can call me a little selfish, but something I want to talk about now that I think everybody's talking about, and if you haven't heard, you're gonna see it, and you're gonna it might be a shocker to you. Now, why are Honda engines going up in price so much, and Honda parts in general, and stuff getting so hard to get a hold of? A couple months ago, I said this, with all the changes and stuff like that in politics and things like that and all that stuff going on, and the whole COVID thing throwing the rotation off, and just also age of certain things, that stuff was going to get harder to get a hold of everywhere, especially here in America. And I said this to people talking, people would just look at me like I was just like dumb as hell, like I had a dick on my head or something. I mean, like they would, no. And I was like, dude, I'm telling you, prices of Honda motors are going to go up. Things are going to happen. I've talked to a lot of people. I've talked to HMO. I talked to JDM Motors Online, or JDM New York, and just a bunch of other big import motors, and some people from Japan through Instagram and things like that. And things were just getting harder and harder to find. They're getting more expensive. And people were just looking at me like I was crazy. I mean, it was like, dude, I had to pay more for my H23 VTEC and my Euro H22R with the LSD transmission than I wanted to pay. I mean, last year I would have paid, I think, like close to $3,000 shipped to my door for the Euro H22 and LSD transmission. I had to pay over $4,000, I think, for it this time. My H23 would have been like $1,000. I think it was like maybe 1,100 shipped to my door from HMO. This time it cost me 22, 23. And I was willing to pay that because I know where the market's going and what's happening. Well, I guess the cat's out of the bag now, and it's getting to become well known. Prices are going up, guys. People are like fucking jaw dropped, and I've been saying it. Metal is getting harder to get a hold of. Things, just materials in general. So, like, I can't even get a new work truck. My company can't get new work trucks because they don't have materials to make the ECU or materials to make the trucks and certain things. And stuff's happening. And I jumped on it, and I even sold some of them to people I knew, being kind of nice for cheap, just to kind of, get it out of my garage and keep it going. And if you take a look and you don't believe me, go look at the prices on HMO. Go look at the prices of anywhere, just any importer. Go take a look. You'll see the prices in the prices on motors, parts, everything, and the availability. Basically, the lake is running dry. For older motors, it's getting harder and harder to get a hold of them, even in Japan, to the point where if they crash their car, they get rid of things, stuff like that. If they need it, they're either hanging on to them or they just can't get them. I don't know any other way to explain it on that it's getting tougher and tougher to find the stuff for the older motors, the B series, the D series. I mean, hell, guys, I used to throw D series away in the trash. I'm not joking at all. I would have so much D series parts and blocks and motors that I would throw them in the dumpster. And I probably shouldn't say that, but I did, and I can't believe it now. H series, or you look and try to find an H series. Try to find an H23 non VTEC. Try to find a H22 of any sorts, an H23 VTEC, and you're going to pay a lot more, and they're going to be very limited stock. Same thing with D series. Look, if you don't believe me, go and try to look for D series and actually pay attention, because some of these listings you'll see, and then call them or email them and see if they're in stock. I think you'd be really surprised. Try to find an S2000 F series motor. Incredibly hard to find. And if you do, they're doubled or tripled in price. K series, people did not believe me. They're still around right now. If you're gonna go K, I would suggest that's the time to jump on K, because I guarantee in the next few years they're gonna shoot up and they're gonna be hard to find. JDM parts, for instance, you guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but for me it was worth it. For my set of OEM fog lights for my Prelude, I bought 2 sets, the clear and then the yellow. They weren't even the best shape, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they're in good shape, but not like I'd want. I paid over $800 for them just to get to me. Everything, with the economy and stuff, the way things are going, houses, I mean, look at the new car market. It's just nuts. It is nuts. I've increased security around my house and garage even more, even after the CRV incident, and you gotta do it even more. Because it worries me. I mean, it worries me. What do you guys think? I want to ask you, what do you think about, driving your cars, especially the older 90s Hondas now? I mean, look at the sale or the prices that they're going for sale at. Just some of my local dealerships have gotten lower mileage. They got a lower mileage 5th gen Prelude selling for almost $19,000, and it has flaws. A lower mileage 2nd generation Integra RS selling for close to $11,000, and it's an automatic. It's just, I'm telling you, these cars, everybody, some people got it, but some of the people, when they look at me, I'm like, dude, you just don't understand. They're a joy to drive, and they're fun to collect, and they're getting rare. And there's not cars out there like them. We all love the late 80s, mid 90s era. I mean, that's why you're here watching my channel, because of the CRV, or possibly the Prelude, or any of my other just little Hondas I've done or friends have come over with. I mean, you're watching it for a reason, because there was, and sorry if I keep talking weird, I got a big old blister or whatever the hell you want to say inside my lip, or where I bit the hell out of my lip eating. So it hurts like hell when I talk. But you're here for, because you love that 90s spirit of the Hondas. I mean, the interior, the smell, the drive, the motors, the wheels, the suspension, the brakes, the ease of the motor swaps. I mean, you love all of that. That's why you're here. That's why I love them, and you may have your favorite platform, but if you get in any of them now, from the shittiest one to the nicest one, it's going to put a smile on your face when you drive. And you just don't get that with a lot of new cars. There are some, don't get me wrong, there's some awesome new cars out there, but nowhere near. Like, you could get in a fucking family sedan 4-door Civic and have a blast driving it. Or you could get behind the sports car that era, which is the Prelude and the NSX, and have a blast driving that, or the Integra, which was a little bit further on, got more sportier. And then you just, it was just funny how you could go from the most pathetic grocery getter D15 dual point hatchback to the SI, and you could have a smile on your face with each one, so you can't do that in new Hondas. I don't feel like, unless it's like the Type R or certain, there's a few, but it's not every Honda. You get into like HRV or CRV, you get into a regular Civic, you get into a regular Accord. They're boring as fuck. They are. And I'm a Honda fan. I love it, but they're boring as fuck, and it takes a lot to make them fun. Where stock, these things were fun, and lower them, throw some wheels on them, put an intake and exhaust, and you're having a blast like you're in a fucking a fast go-kart. You know what I mean? I don't know what to say. And then they're like Legos. You could swap everything and do what you... shit from an Acura Legend would fit a Prelude, and shit from a Prelude would fit a Honda Odyssey, and shit from a Civic would fit an Integra. So it was just, it's cool. You know what I mean? And everything, if you look, even parts, like companies are not making as many parts. If some of them are actually discontinuing them, if they're even making them anymore, they're very limited, or they're possibly like, hey, this is our last line, or, you know, they're just, because they're not selling as much, because one, prices of material are going up and everybody's pay is not going up as fast, and two, there's not as many out there, so there's not as many people that have them, so they're like, okay, we can't keep that much stock. I mean, think about, and some of you guys in bigger cities may have this rare, but think about the last time you saw a first gen, second gen, third gen, or fourth gen, or even the fifth gens are starting to become rare, Prelude driving around in the street. Just think about it. E.g. Honda Civic chassis, an SI at that, let's say an SI for sure. Think about that. EF chassis. You used to see EF chassis about 10 years ago everywhere, from four doors to hatchbacks. It'd be rare to see the SI, but you would see them places. You barely see them anymore. Think about E.g. four-door sedan style body styles. You barely see those anymore. I mean, you may see them. Don't get me wrong. CRXs, barely at all. They're as rare as the Preludes now. And used to see CRXs at least a little bit more. You know what I mean? Not as much always. They're a little bit more rare car, being a two-seater. The Del Sols, they pop up. So what I'm saying, guys, is watch the values go up. Take care of your cars. Now, obviously, you have ones that are junk, rusted, beat up, and you think they're going to be worth a lot, you're going to get laughed at. I'm sorry. They're probably going to be like, well, maybe parts. That might be what they're worth. But, excuse me. But if you got a nice body style, or in good condition, and a nice older Honda or motor, I'm telling you, I guarantee, and I could be wrong, but I guarantee they're going to continue to go up and they're not coming back down. I don't believe they are. Especially if we go into another gas crisis. You know what I mean? If like gas starts getting really expensive again, and people are going to want little economy-friendly cars, and the rich people, it sounds bad, but they're going to be like, oh, let me grab a little beater Honda. And they're going to be fucking surprised when common people like me and you are like, fuck no, you know, give me $10,000 to $30,000 for this shit, because you're not fucking getting it cheap anymore. I mean, just watch auctions, guys. If you don't believe me, watch auctions. Call companies. Watch parts. Pay attention to the economy. Look at materials. Look at materials for stuff. Look at finding older Honda parts. Look at collectors. Collectors that are in their age and have a little bit more money, and they're in their midlife crisis, or just midway through their life, and they're like, fuck it, you know, I got money and I've always wanted to own this car. So I'm going to pay this amount for this car to get it safely to me, because they don't have a lot of options anymore. So I want to know what you guys think about this. I want to know what you guys prices around, what you're noticing. Luckily, the CRV guys, the B20 is still pretty affordable, because they made a ton of B20s. Like there's just in so many platforms. But I'm not going to lie. I really think within 1 year, the B20 is going to be harder to get and more expensive. And I just gave one away. It was hydro-locked, but I gave it away because I had too much shit in my garage. And, now I'm clearing up my garage stuff. And honestly, I'm going to start hanging on to some parts and selling them, because they're going to be worth more money sooner than later. And, hell, just looking for parts for myself. I've had to. Materials are so bad. If you guys haven't ordered much parts lately, I have ordered stuff back in January when I first had my open heart surgery. When I got out, I ordered in January, February, because I was just sitting around. I couldn't do anything. I am still waiting on some parts right now, and it is July, past the 4th of July when you watch this video. And I am still told some of my parts may not even come till September or possibly next year. And that sucks because it's holding me up on some stuff. But it worries me too because I was told many months, that they would be here within this month, and you call the company and they just can't get materials. So when you guys watch a lot of my unboxing videos, a lot of the stuff I've had sitting around for a while, and it's just crazy to think about. Like even HRG guys, like he's having trouble getting a hold of materials. I mean, he's doing great, keeping up as best he can, but he has had some struggles with getting a hold of materials. So sorry for sounding a little scatterbrained in this video. If you watched it all the way to this point, I'm tired as hell. It's very late right now where I'm at, and of course my damn lip is fucking bothering the hell out of me. But I wanted to make this video because I noticed a few people have put something out, and I waited a little while because one, I was shopping myself, and two, it's just happened, guys, like JDM headlights, tail lights, gauge clusters. If you don't believe me, find someone on your Facebook or Instagram social media that's even from Japan. Talk to them. If you doubt me, go straight to the source and ask them what it's like trying to get hold on, I'm gonna use some damn chapstick. Trying to get a hold of parts right now. It's not easy at all. It's a pain in the ass. So to kind of recap all this, if you got this far, sorry. K-Series is still plentiful to a certain point. Some of the stuff is getting harder to find. If you were going to go K-Series, I would say do it now. I would say do it now or plan to do it soon. And get ready for K-Series parts to get harder and harder to find over the years. If you're B-Series, you're behind. You're late on the bus. Grab what you can. If you're H-Series, you're late on the bus. Grab what you can. D-Series even. Grab what you can. I'm telling you, as much as everybody laughs and is like, oh, D-Series are always there, grab what you can. If you're F-Series, grab what you can now because you're behind. I guarantee you this stuff is going to get harder and harder to find. Unless everybody just says, fuck it, it's too expensive to do anything with, and a bunch of people just sell all their shit. And then the market's going to get overloaded, and people are going to snag it up, and then it's going to be the same boat. They're going to hang on to it, or they're going to use it, blow it up, ruin it, and there's always only going to be so much stuff. But I think, all of us knew this was going to happen in the Honda game. If you were a 90s Honda guy or late 80s or early 2000s, we all knew. It was only a matter of time before they were able to pull so many JDM motors. They were able to get so many VTEC heads. They were really able to get so many JDM headlights and taillights and conversion kits and front ends and right-hand drive swaps. And, I mean, they're cars, guys, and they get old and stuff gets ruined and people don't have the time to fix it and they have to let it go in their time of life and things happen is what I'm saying. So if you can snag stuff now, I would say snag it now. Keep it clean, take care, sit on it, and I guarantee you it's probably going to be worth double your value, maybe even triple or 4 times the amount in 10 years. I seriously, when they start making a push more to electronic cars, if they don't do some kind of outlaw or bullshit with insurance that makes it way more expensive to even have your shit on the road, people are gonna want to have classic fun cars. They are. And if gas prices continue to get expensive or gas is harder to get, they're gonna want to drive, these older cars that are cheaper on gas and have a good time, or people are gonna do something crazy and convert them to electric or some shit. You never know. People find a way to keep things going, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's collectors also that are looking for these things, even ones in not perfect shape because they're so hard to find, and they'd be willing to slowly. Hell, I know certain car dealership owners that take their time and buy like old ass cars that I'm not even like really into or familiar with, and they will wait years upon years upon years to find the right door handle, to find the right weather stripping, to find this. So Someone may come along and buy your Civic hatchback and say, I'll give you fucking $40,000 for it in 10 years. And you may be like, holy shit. I mean, it's good, but it's not perfect. And they might be like, well, do you have all the stock shit to it or modded, however they want it? And the motherfuckers might have the money to sit and literally keep it for the next 10, 20 years and buy piece by piece and put it in a museum. You just don't know. I mean, yeah, most of them are going to be higher mileage. So to find a rare mileage one's going to be a unicorn. Don't get me wrong. But it may happen because the shit is getting so much harder to find. And then some of you guys might be like, oh, I see them every day. I'm telling you, then you're lucky. Look around, get on forums, get on Facebook, get on Instagram, get on whatever you use, social media, and take a look and see what you find, and then come back and tell me. Tell me what you think as far as a nationwide average just here in the U.S. Let's see what you find. Then go and look and take the time to call, look, email, ask, as many of us did, companies that import engines, see what they have to say. I think your mind will be blown. So anybody that's doubters and the people I see making a little laugh emojis and all this stupid shit that aren't educated in themselves, I think they're going to be shocked pretty soon. Hell, even just some of the cars that are 10 years old. I mean, it's pretty crazy if you pay attention to even materials right now. I hope that gets better. Don't get me wrong, but there's still a chance that what I'll say at the end of this video, getting close to the end because I'm almost done with my whole explaining and rant. I think you'll find that for a business, it's only lucrative to do it for so long. And then when it becomes too much of a hassle or too much of a cost to them and they don't make enough, they're going to be out of the game. Well, how many places are going to go, hey, you know what? Making Skunk 2 intake manifolds for B Series, it's getting too expensive. Too expensive is worth as much, and there's not as many out there. So if you order one from now on, it's going to have to be custom order, and we'll get around to it. So you may not be able to get yours for a year, 6 months to a year, and it could be 4 times the price, to do it, because it's just a pain in the ass now. Now, I just throwing that out there, not saying that exact B Series and name brand intake manifold. I'm just, if you get what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. So I'd be shocked. So again, I'd like to know your guys' thoughts, what you guys think, what you guys have. Let me know what you guys have currently, what platforms you're working with. Be interested. And I'd like to just kind of see what people say and where this goes in the next coming months or year. I'd be interested to see this road. I could be 100% wrong. It could all drop, but I don't see it dropping. I don't, with the way the world is changing and things are happening. I see these things becoming more sought after. And one of the reasons why is the whole world is going to digital or fake, bullshit, in my opinion. Now, give me money, but I'm not really giving you anything physical. It's all in the digital world. The whole world is kind of going that way, which I think is, to me, very irresponsible and dumb, because it's going to trap us basically like a funnel, in my opinion, and be like, okay, well, now there's a lot of control over this that you don't actually have. So we funneled it down to a small hole now that your life is condensed in, and we're controlling it very much because you don't got shit. What do you have to give back to us? You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a scary thing if you actually look into it deeper. But I want to know your thoughts on it. What do you think? What do you guys got platforms, and what are you doing, and where your plans are for your future? You're going to sell if it comes the right price? You're going to hang on to it? You're going to have fun with it while you can and enjoy the fuck out of it? Or are you going to, look, one thing I will say, hey, if you're watching this, first gen CRVs are still everywhere. I don't know how much longer. They are dwindling down too. I noticed this past year they're really starting to shrink. But they are still around quite a bit because you can't fucking kill them things. The B20, the platform, I mean, they sold so well. And I think there's still more first gens on the road I think than there is second gens. Someone said. I don't quote me on that. I think I remember seeing something on that. Somebody was saying that there was more first gens on the road or worldwide than there was even second gen CRVs. But yeah, let me know, guys. All right, that's my little update on it. If you don't believe me, go look. I'd like to see your opinion. All right, have a good night, YouTube.